Getting people outside, reopening schools and restaurants, that's the goal. But how do we reach it? Scientists, medical experts, and state leaders now taking on the tall task of creating a strategy to reopen the economy. And the clock is ticking as Arizona's stay-at-home order runs out in just 2 weeks. So what will it take to get back to work and something at least close to normal life safely? ABC 15's Cameron Pohlem talking to the state's former epidemiologist about what that may look like.
There's a number of things there. It can't just be, all right, everybody back to work, kids back in school.
As state and federal leaders now begin serious talks about opening up the economy, Dr. David Ingelthaler, the state's former epidemiologist, says it must be done carefully and strategically.
We're going to have to protect the most vulnerable. No matter what we do, we're going to have to put our arms around and build a wall around these people that we know are at highest risk for dying.
Most states are focusing on 3 main goals: widespread virus testing, antibody tests, and contact tracing.
If you don't know if you have it, then it's hard to control the disease.
Infectious disease expert Dr. Paul Keim says the state must ramp up testing significantly in order to safely open. He says knowing if you have the virus can significantly alter your behavior, helping to avoid spreading it to others. He points to rapid tests becoming more available, but most likely not widely within the next few months. That takes us to antibody tests.
The antibody tests work with just a little bit of blood and not a lot of blood. Like a finger stick in the end should be enough to test somebody's antibodies.
Dr. Keim foresees them being easily purchased at stores or shipped directly to homes. No labs necessary.
We would expect them to be like a pregnancy test. If you would get a little drop of blood on your finger, we should be able to get that result back in 5 to 15 minutes.
Those who show immunity to the virus can hopefully get back to work sooner, but tracking those now navigating the new world will have to happen as well using contact tracing.
If somebody gets diagnosed with a sexually transmitted disease, what do they ask you? They say, well, they want you to identify your sexual partners. And then what they do is they'll contact those folks.
Contact tracing works the same way for those who test positive for COVID-19. Call centers will reach out immediately, interview them about who they've been in contact with, where they've been, making further calls along that chain.
The public health officials will have to recruit folks in, almost like the census, right? Bring in lots of temporary people. Mostly what they'll focus upon are close contacts, family members, people you work with.
Focusing on mitigating those situations before they spread in the community. When Arizona finally does get back to work, it will take a multi-pronged approach like this to make sure it stays that way. I'm Cameron Pohlem, ABC 15 Arizona.
Cameron, thanks. We reached out to the state health department with questions regarding these strategies. We were told they were not available for an interview and did not answer our questions.